Everybody, Natasha Koch here with the Van City Home Team, and this Tuesday's Van City Scoop Live. I guess they've changed the platform on Facebook, so hopefully everybody can see me okay. Anyway, how's everybody doing? It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day and nowhere to go. However, I hope that you've been able to get outside and enjoy a little bit of the sunshine. Vitamin D is the best thing, and I've been actually taking it on top of relying on the sun every day. Let me see, do we have anybody online? I don't really want to start right away. We're going to talk about the market update. So everybody wants to know what's happening in the market, what's going to happen, and just basically our economy in general. So I'm going to talk about all three of those. And I would like to start actually by just going through the numbers. Now, obviously the numbers for March include the beginning of March, and of course they had significantly changed towards the end based on COVID-19. So really, with any kind of statistics, we need to wait at least 3 to 4 weeks to sort of see what happened previous in order to really determine. So let's talk about the numbers. 34% up market speed. That was the market speed for March, which basically means that it was going into a seller's market. And then, of course, that has changed a little bit. Sales for March, 921 sales, which was actually 49% greater than this time last year. Median sales price was $871,000. And we're doing Greater Vancouver only today, not the Fraser Valley stats. But if you would like a copy of any of the Fraser Valley stats, Greater Vancouver and Metro Van, you can message me. I also have them available in Chinese. Active listings last month, 2,726, which was also an 8% increase. So it was actually quite a strong start. Now let's talk about the sales. So at the beginning of the month, there was on average 130 sales happening per day, and that was basically within the first 2 weeks of March. March is typically our busiest month. It's the set off to the spring. Everybody's out looking to buy. Interest rates have been statistically low, and so we were revving up for a really good season. They've now come down to about 90 sales per day. Now you think, well, 90 sales is actually quite a lot, and you're absolutely right. There is definitely activity happening in the market, so it is not doom and gloom. Granted, we are definitely affected, and there's people that have lost their jobs, unfortunately, and not able to consider buying. But there's definitely opportunity out there, and definitely people that still need to sell or wish to sell. So 130 sales per day the first 2 weeks, dropped down to 90 in the second half. There's currently 9,600 listings on the market. So some people have taken their houses off the market to wait. It is down as far as inventory about 25% from this time last year. And overall, I mean, real estate is the pillar of our economy. And I kind of want to talk to, I was doing a little bit of research online about the Canadian economy, because obviously, we do follow suit in a lot of ways to the U.S. And, I wanted to check out, historically, some of the economic downturns that we've had. So I'm just going to share some of the information that I had looked up. So within the past 40 years, the Canadian economy has suffered 4 economic downturns. I don't want to call them recessions, because they're really... I don't personally consider them a recession. 1981 was one of them, 1991. Then there was a 2000 to 2008 where there was the mortgage crash and definite economic downturn. However, Canadians actually were not as affected. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. And then 2014, there was about a 6-month decline. So we're pretty fortunate actually in Canada as far as our economy goes. We've escaped a lot of the economic downturn. Now, I have been, reading a lot of posts and information, and I'm sure everybody's looking at different economists. You want to pick your favorites because obviously everybody has a different opinion. The US usually have an economic change or, which affects their real estate market usually every 7 years. We haven't really had much change in about 11 years. So we're kind of due for a little bit of change. The past decade, our interest rates have been low, and obviously that has encouraged buying. There is probably going to be a fluctuation in rates coming down, but then they will need to go up because the truth is that I can't see the Bank of Canada cutting their rates any lower really than they already are. They don't have the income coming in to support it. A lot of lenders are backing away from lending the money to the institutions. So, I mean, in the past decade, we've had really good interest rates anyway. But what was interesting was that our debt service overall for the GDP is 24%, which is actually 1.6 times higher than the US ratio. So what that basically means is that we're borrowing too much money. So I'm not an economist. I am a realtor. I want to talk about stats, which I have done, for the month of March as best I can because they are definitely changing. But I guess what I really do want to encourage is all of you to really evaluate whether or not you're in a position to buy. If you are, there's some amazing opportunities out there right now. Unfortunately, when there is a crisis, that is when the best opportunities can be made. There's a lot of people that still need to sell. The interest rates are really low. However, be smart about it and don't spend money that you don't have to spend, because we are prone as Canadians to put ourselves in debt. And if there is a recession that will be coming, we want to make sure that we prepare ourselves for that as best we can. So there's a couple benefits that I discovered, and I'm sorry that I'm reading my notes, but I just don't want to forget anything. The entire Trump trade war could be of benefit actually to our economy, which I found interesting because obviously if companies can't import or export their products to the US, Canadian economy may be the way to do it. The trouble is that we don't want to be overextended on our debt, because obviously if Canadians are overextended in their debt service, then they are spending all their income on debt and not on goods and services. So in order to increase the economy, buckle down, put aside your pennies and be careful what you spend your money on so that we can get ourselves into a really strong position in order to boost the economy by purchasing those goods and services in the future. So hopefully that sums it up and makes sense from an economic standpoint in keeping us strong. We don't know how long this is going to last. There are many, many realtors that are, we're actually considered an essential service because we provide housing. So there are definitely listings out there. There are ways to view them. So just so you know, the market is still happening. And as I said, there's a lot of opportunity. I am still showing property, and I provide masks and gloves for my clients as well for myself. Generally, they're vacant properties. I also am doing Zoom showings and Facebook Live. Showings will be starting as well. And I'm also hosting 15-minute info sessions. So if you are thinking about buying or selling, or if you just want an overview of the market, or have a 15-minute chat with me, I'm setting up Zoom meetings. So you can just send me an email if you're interested in setting one up at natasha@vancityhometeam.com. I'll send you a link, and then we can meet online. Typically, in the past, I would have loved to buy you a coffee, but we'll just have to rely on our own coffee makers for now. So another thing, a little give back to all of my past, present, and future clients. I have compiled a list of all of the services for those that want to tap into some of the financial services, because they have just released some of the funding for those that have lost their jobs. Or those that qualify for funding. So I have a spreadsheet with a link to all of those services that I can share with you. Just send me a message and I'll send that as well. So that's the market update for March 2020. April will be an interesting one, so stay tuned for next month to see the update then. And thanks for joining the live. Hope I didn't take too much of your time, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see everybody on Thursday for the Van City Scoop. Okay, bye everybody.